So I mean, to what extent can I, should I try to rectify myself? I mean, in what case? Like, of course, I'm trying to rectify myself even, but then still sometimes I may commit that error because of my nature. So, like, how do I deal with this issue so that at least my rendering of service is, I try getting better and better in that as much
No,
as
see,
possible.
the spiritually, we should always feel like that, you know. We cannot think that now I'm doing my service very perfectly. That attitude cannot, because that leads to pride, you know. So we should always think that no, I'm not doing my best, you know. I could have done better. That's the humility, you understand?
Yes,
So to
Prabhu.
feel like that is very good, you know. But to feel that no, I'm doing it very well. Look, I'm the best, you know, doing everything, and I'm pleasing Krishna and Prabhupada, and this kind of consciousness is detrimental. You follow?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
So you're on the right track if you're feeling yourself incapable, you feel yourself, you know, not very efficient and like that, you know. And that's a good sign actually spiritually. You understand?
Yes,
Hmm?
Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
You should always be thinking how fallen we are, you know. And that way we will make progress. We start
Yes,
thinking that I am, you know, very perfect, then it's very dangerous, you know. And
yes,
as
Prabhu.
long as you engage in Krishna's service, that's auspicious. That is very auspicious because the whole sum and substance, that's why Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, whatever you do it as an offering towards me. So
Yes,
that's
Prabhu.
how we should be always connected, you know, somehow or other be connected to Krishna. Then our life will become good, no? That's why we are trained to wake up in the morning. First thing you do is chant Hare Krishna while you just up from your bed, and then we already started to chant our rounds. In this way, we make our life successful, no?
Yes, Prabhu.
Or other connect, and then we get disconnected by doing so many other things that you know make us forget Krishna. Hmm?
Yes, Prabhu.
You understand? That's why it's so important the morning and at least the evening also you come back again to Krishna consciousness. So in this way you try to focus your life on Krishna, you know.
Yes, Prabhu.
You understand?
Yes, Prabhu.
So you are on the right track, you are feeling like that. So
Yes.
keep it up, become humble, then your life become very successful. Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
That's actually real humility, you know, to feel yourself incapable and seeing others as capable and glorifying them. That's Vaishnava quality, you know.
Mm.
You know, that is the mood actually. Even if you do better, also you try to bring others, you know. Like you see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu while he was talking to Sanatan Goswami, and he was saying, because of your association, Krishna is giving me another meaning. Okay, he's God, no, he knows everything, right? You
Yes,
see how
Prabhu.
he present himself. Because you are here asking me a question, because of you, you know, Krishna is giving me this realization. You understand? This is how devotees, you know, their mind, mood, and all, always talking in a humble way, giving credit to others, not accepting anything in return. You follow?
Yes, Prabhu.
So that means we are advancing. But if you try to take all credit and, you know, behave condescendingly and, you know, we try to despise others and all these kind of things, it's not very good quality. That's the new
Yes,
fight quality, you know. Only leads to fighting actually. So we should
yes,
be
Prabhu.
careful, you know. This is how we make progress. That's why revealing the mind is a very important, what we say, quality in making advancement. If you don't reveal your mind, then it's dangerous. That means you're hiding your enemy.
Mm.
You understand?
Yes,
You're
Prabhu.
protecting your enemy, and your enemy is the mind. So,
Yes.
more and more you protect the mind, then the more and more you will get into trouble. That's why to
Yes, Prabhu.
expose the enemy. How to expose the enemy, the mind? So we reveal it. My mind is thinking like this, Prabhu, what shall I do? Ah, you follow.
Yes, Prabhu.
The more you reveal your mind, the more you humiliate your mind. Then the mind will become, powerless. That's the
Yes,
best
Prabhu.
way to control the mind. That's why Vaishnavas have to have these qualities, no? Isn't it? Nectar of instruction. Huh?
Yes, Prabhu.
What are the 6 things that the devotee has to do?
Or
Yes, these are the
reveal.
things the devotee has to do. Offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasad and offering prasad are the 6 symptoms of love shared by one devotee and another. Hmm? So in
Yes,
this
Prabhu.
class, Srila Rupa Goswami, someone want to read this?
Shall I read, Prabhu?
Yeah, please read.
Yes, Prabhu. In this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami explains how to perform devotional service in the association of other devotees. There are 6 kinds of activities. Number 1, giving charity to the devotees. Number 2, accepting from the devotees whatever they may offer in return. Number 3, opening one's mind to the devotees. Number 4, inquiring from them about the confidential service of the Lord. Number 5, honoring prasad or spiritual food given by the devotees. And number 6, feeding the devotees with prasad. An experienced devotee explains, and an inexperienced devotee learns from him. This is Guhyam Akhyati Pritchati. When a devotee distributes prasad, remnants of food offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in order to maintain our spirit of devotional service, we must accept this prasad as the Lord's grace received through the pure devotees. We should also invite pure devotees to our home, offer them prasad, and be prepared to please them in all respects. This is called Bhunkte Bhojayate Chaiva. Even in ordinary social activities, these 6 types of dealings between two loving friends are absolutely necessary. For instance, when one businessman wishes to contact another businessman, he arranges a feast in a hotel, and over the feast, he openly expresses what he wishes to do. He then inquires from his business friend how he should act, and sometimes presents are exchanged. Thus, whenever there is a dealing of preeti or love in intimate dealings, these 6 activities are executed. In the previous verse, Srila Rupa Goswami advised that one should renounce worldly association and keep company with the devotees. Sangat Tyagat Sato Vrittehe. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness has been established to facilitate these 6 kinds of loving exchanges between devotees. This society was started single-handedly, but because people are coming forward and dealing with the give and take policy, the society is now expanding all over the world. We are glad that people are donating very liberally to the development of the society's activities, and people are also eagerly accepting whatever humble contribution we are giving them in the shape of books and magazines dealing strictly with the subject matter of Krishna consciousness. We sometimes hold Hare Krishna festivals and invite life members and friends to participate in the feasting by accepting prasad. Although most of our members come from the higher rungs of society, they nonetheless come and take whatever little prasad we are able to offer them. Sometimes the members and supporters inquire very confidentially about the methods of performing devotional service, and we try to explain this. In this way, our society is successfully spreading all over the world, and the intelligentsia of all countries is gradually appreciating our Krishna conscious activities. The life of the Krishna conscious society is nourished by these 6 types of loving exchange among the members. Therefore, people must be given the chance to associate with the devotees of ISKCON, because simply by reciprocating in the 6 ways mentioned above, an ordinary man can fully revive his dormant Krishna consciousness. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text 62, it is stated, Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha. One's desires and ambitions develop according to the company one keeps. It is often said that a man is known by his company. And if an ordinary man associates with devotees, he will certainly develop his dormant Krishna consciousness. The understanding of Krishna consciousness is innate in every living entity, and it is already developed to some extent when the living entity takes a human body. It is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 22, text 107, Nitya Siddho Krishna Prem Shadho Kobunai Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Koroy Udoy. Pure love for Krishna is eternally established in the hearts of living entities. It is not something to be gained from another source. When the heart is purified by hearing and chanting, that love naturally awakens. Since Krishna consciousness is inherent in every living entity, everyone should be given a chance to hear about Krishna. Simply by hearing and chanting Shravanam Kirtanam, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 5, Text 23, one's heart is directly purified and one's original Krishna consciousness is immediately awakened. Krishna consciousness is not artificially imposed upon the heart, it is already there. When one chants the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the heart is cleansed of all mundane contamination. In the first stanza of his Sri Shikshashtaka, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Cheto darpana marjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidya vadhu jeevanam anandambudhi vardhanam pratipadam purnamrita swadanam sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Chaitanya Charitamrita Antalila, chapter 20, text 12. All glories to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Not only is the chanter of the Mahamantra purified, but the heart of anyone who happens to hear the transcendental vibration of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is also cleansed. Even the souls embodied in lower animals, insects, trees, and other species of life also become purified and prepared to become fully Krishna conscious simply by hearing the transcendental vibration. This was explained by Thakur Haridas when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired from him how living entities lower than human beings can be delivered from material bondage. Haridas Thakur said that the chanting of the holy names is so powerful that even if one chants in the remotest parts of the jungle, the trees and animals will advance in Krishna consciousness simply by hearing the vibration. This was actually proved by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself when he passed through the forests of Jharikhanda. At that time, the tigers, snakes, deer, and all other animals abandoned their natural animosity and began chanting and dancing in Sankirtan. Of course, we cannot imitate the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but we should follow in his footsteps. We are not powerful enough to enchant the lower animals such as tigers, snakes, cats, and dogs, or entice them to dance, but by chanting the holy names of the Lord, we can actually convert many people throughout the world to Krishna consciousness. Contributing or distributing the holy name of the Lord is a sublime example of contributing or giving charity, the Dadati principle. By the same token, one must also follow the Pratigrihnati principle and be willing and ready to receive the transcendental gift. One should inquire about the Krishna consciousness movement and open his mind in order to understand the situation of this material world. Thus, the Guhyamakhyati Pruchati principles can be served.
Okay, the purport is extremely long, so I recommend you to carry on reading at your own time.
Yes, Prabhu.
Otherwise, you won't be able to get all the other questions.
Yes,
So I
Prabhu.
hope you understand what I'm saying. Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. So we just continue on with our word and then just pray to the Lord that our negativities can be, our bad habits or our
long
negative
as you,
habits
as long
towards
as
you.
you stay in the association of devotees and have somebody to guide you, then you're safe, you know.
Yes, Prabhu.
When you are only with your mind, then it's very dangerous position, you know. That's why association of devotees is highly recommended, you see. You know,
Yes, Prabhu.
as we can be misled by our mind. You know, the mind is always telling all kind of crazy things, you know.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hmm? Yes.
Roji, I do have one question.
Hmm.
When I was in the um, ISKCON camp and everything, I was trying to see the positive in everyone and everything. But even though I felt internally that something was wrong, um, was that a good thing to try to do? Because like would that be called false humility by trying to see the positive in something that I shouldn't?
Prabhupada said we don't surrender our intelligence, you know. Prabhupada
Mm,
said you surrender with intelligence, you know.
mm,
If you're going somewhere and the Shastra say one thing and they're doing another thing, then it's
mm.
questionable, you know. You understand? So
Yeah.
we are training everybody to be independent, thoughtful man, you know. We don't train someone to become a zombie.
Mm,
We are quoting the scriptures and showing you evidence and all to make you understand that this is what it is and this is how you should act. Not that you're all becoming a psychopath and following me blindly and oh, Sundar Gopal said this and Sundar Gopal said that. This is nonsense.
mm.
Understand? So this
Yes.
idea, a person who is imparting or training someone, then he should also show where it is said that this and what Krishna says and what Prabhupada says and all this, no? You understand? So that way a person is guided properly. Like now
Mm,
you're coming from the ISKCON camp and you saw their teaching is one thing and they're doing another thing. So that gives
yes.
you a question to, you know, what's going on.
Yes.
Similarly, you know, I'm teaching and if you come here and stay with me and you see that I'm doing all kind of crazy things, then that will put you off. Yes?
Yes. Yes. This is a fact.
Just like Priti Goranga was saying, you know, he was observing me and he's saying, so he's seeing that what I'm doing. You understand? So that gives him confidence.
Yes.
So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, before you teach, you must act properly, you know. You understand?
Yes. True.
So this is how we should, you know, help others also to get faith. If we just talk and no action, then what's the use? Hmm?
That's like the one thing that plagued my whole life. Every time I tried to teach or try to find someone who can teach me something, they would do something else. But I don't see that sort of issue with you or Prabhupada or the advanced devotees. You know, I don't see it like that over here, Prabhu.
So that is the main thing. And not only me, everyone should act before we preach. No? If I'm preaching, then I should be exemplary. Then yes, everything will be very nice and very perfect. But you cannot. That's why Sanatan Goswami was talking this to about Haridas Thakur. Some people can preach, but they cannot act. Some people can act, but they cannot preach. But you can act and preach. Therefore, you're first class. Talking about Haridas Thakur. So if we are trying to preach and act, that is first class. We have to try to come to that, no?
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Because it's a saying, popular saying, you can fool all the people sometime. You can fool some people all the time, but you cannot fool all the people all the time. That's not possible, you know. And
Not
plus,
possible.
the Supreme Soul is in your heart. Of course, Krishna will expose.
Very easy.
Yes. So we should be very careful to the fact, you know. That's why we have to be at least sincere in our activities, for our own purification. why we should try to be insincere and try to put up a gang, just like this verse here, One who restrains the senses of action but whose mind dwells on sense object certainly deludes himself and is called a pretender.
Mm.
You understand?
I gotta be honest, bro. I've been a pretender all my life.
I'm the biggest pretender. That's why I do online, so you don't see me at all, You wanna read this?
Yes, purport. There are many pretenders who refuse to work in Christian consciousness, but make a show of meditation while actually dwelling within the mind upon the sense enjoyment. Such pretenders may also speak on dry philosophy in order to bluff sophisticated followers. But according to this verse, these are the greatest cheaters. For sense enjoyment, one can act in any capacity of the social order. But if one follows the rules and regulations of his particular status, he can make gradual progress in purifying his existence. But he who makes a show of being a yogi while actually searching for objects of sense gratification must be called the greatest cheater, even though he sometimes speaks philosophy. His knowledge has no value because the effects of such a sinful man's knowledge are taken away by the illusory energy of the Lord. Such a pretender's mind is always impure, and therefore his show of yogic meditation has no value whatsoever.
In fact, you understand? So therefore, this is something that is in everybody's heart, and everybody can see whether the person is talking sense or no sense. And also the person can see his behavior. If the person is acting in a crazy manner, just like our ISKCON, so many gurus, and then they're falling down. So you pretend to be a Mahabhagavata, and then the next moment you are doing all crazy things, worse than even a dog. Then what kind of image or standard you're setting? Yes. And then to cover this up, you said, oh, the bus breaks down, you just take another bus, and then they blame it on you. It's your karma. You got such a person. I mean, listen, this is all nonsense.
All nonsense.
Already you are, very fortunate. Anyone who comes to Krishna consciousness is very fortunate. But because you have put a crazy philosophy which is not supported by the whole parampara and by Prabhupada, so you blame it on, the poor person who came, or your karma, because your karma is bad, that's why you got all this stuff. Well, look at this nonsense. This is called cheating, We should be careful. We should be very careful as preachers and also as, person who is coming to Krishna consciousness. So you surrender with intelligence, not you surrender your intelligence,
Yes.
Well, we are teaching the philosophy, we're showing you in fact, this whole session is question and answers. Whatever doubts you got, you can always bring up. And so that way you learn, You understand?
Yes.
That faith and that strength, Because without knowledge, it's very difficult to make progress, Faith can be strengthened by the hearing process. Otherwise,
Yes.
just like now, all India, there's some Kerala story and some Kashmir file and all. I just heard from someone that the Kashmir Brahmins were all eating meat, So when you do all this kind of thing, then how are you going to get the mercy of Krishna?
Oh, Krishna.
You don't know, you don't have the knowledge. You can't get knowledge if you don't surrender. You understand? So then you get a lot of problems. And everybody will come there and, though the Vedic system has got millions of books and knowledge, and you are there without any understanding, what does it make? What kind of a nonsense is that? Among all the denomination, the Vedic scriptures are topmost with so much detailed knowledge, and you don't have access to it. Why? Because you're doing nonsense. Yeah,
Mm.
verse, Krishna says, in this verse. In this verse, Krishna says, members of the renounced order who fail to uproot the last traces of material desire in their heart remain impure, and thus you do not allow them to understand you. See that?
Mm.
You do not allow them to understand you. Although you are present within their hearts, for them you are like a jewel worn around the neck of a man who totally forgotten it is there. O Lord, those who have practiced yoga only for sense gratification must suffer punishment both in this life and in the next. From death you will not release them, and from you, whose kingdom they cannot reach. Huh? So you cannot do sinful activities and expect to become a saint, that's not possible.
Mm.
That is not possible. Huh? So a cheater, you cannot cheat Krishna, that's not possible. You know? Hmm?
Mm.
येषं त अन्तगतपापं जनानं पुण्यकर्मणं ते द्वन्द्वमोहनिर्मुक्ता भजन्ते मां दर्दवदः. So yeah, persons who have acted piously in previous life and in this life and whose sinful actions are completely eradicated are free from the dualities of the vision, and they engage themselves in my service with determination. So there is some criteria in how you can go to Krishna. Unless you have done heaps and heaps of pious activity in previous lives. It's not
Mm.
some what we say, by chance. There's no chance story in Krishna consciousness.
Mm.
Unless, you get the mercy of a pure devotee, then that's another thing.
Mm.
Unless you have done pious activities, how you can be the pure devotee? That's also there. It is not that, you can just simply made a pure devotee by luck and by chance. Huh? This verse was quoted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Persons whose austerity is meager can hardly obtain the service of pure devotees. It's not possible. If you don't have the austerity, it's not possible. Huh? So it is a sign. How many lifetimes and how many pious activities you contacting the devotees, that this is all very much plays a very big role in a person becoming a devotee. Quoted this verse, we were talking about this verse here. I was showing I think, did I show the other day? Hmm?
Yes. There's this one verse.
This verse, I think the last time, Bahunam, this Bahunam means many, many birth, Krishna says. Huh? So,
Mm.
after many birth and death, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me with the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Now, how many birth is that? How this is many, many birth is how many? Huh?
Countless.
Not counter, you see here. Krishna explained here. So you see how it is, many lifetimes, how many lifetimes explained by Jiva Goswami here. See this here? O descendants of Bharata, the holy names of Lord Vishnu are always vibrating in the mouth of one who has previously worshipped Vasudeva perfectly for hundreds of lifetimes. Huh? It's not something one life and two lives, So when Krishna said Bahunam Janmanam, after many, many births, so try to understand how much it is so difficult to become a devotee of Krishna. And if you have given the chance, then it is a very rare opportunity. That's why I say such a person is rare and a great soul. Don't don't misuse this chance, Why? You follow?
Yes, Prabhu. Hundreds of lifetimes.
Correct.
Yes, Prabhu.
So this is, we should wake up, especially now we understand that we are in the 51st year of Lord Brahma. Already 50 years we have wasted, I don't know what we were doing. That's 150 trillion years, And still we are saying, I have no time, no, give me a break, I want to, I'll come to this, when I'm ready, and all kind of nonsense.
So much nonsense, Prabhu.
That's why it says we should become Krishna conscious immediately and not waste our time. This is why we because we become so much involved in Maya that our thinking get a little bit, what we call, very relaxed, and it's easy. Taking things easy is the Sahaja mentality. Sahaja is always taking it easy, So we should learn how to become serious. You already wasted so much time. Why we want to waste time still? Huh? Yes?
Yeah, I should take it more, seriously. A lot of times I've been taking it easy, Prabhu.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Thank you, Prabhu.
So you have to understand how, that's why it says in the Bhagavatam that one should become, Krishna conscious very early age of 5, Prahlad Maharaj said one who is sufficiently intelligent should use his human form of body from the very beginning of life. In other words, from the tender age of childhood to practice the activities of devotional service, giving up all other engagement. The human body is most rarely achieved. And although temporary like other bodies, it is meaningful because in human life one can perform devotional service. Even a slight amount of sincere devotional service can give one complete perfection. As we know, in the case of Ajamil, he practiced this devotional service in his early part of his life, and then somehow or other he fell down, and because of his early devotional service, then he got sick. Yes. Yes. Now we
Yes,
should
Prabhu.
not waste our time.
I don't want to waste my time anymore. I want to go back to the temple. At least get cleaned up. I'm not a proper preacher or even know anything proper etiquette.
Yeah, because you know what you can see here what time is all about here, and this place here you can see. Every human being has a maximum duration of life of 100 years, but for one who cannot control his senses, half of these years are completely lost because at night he sleeps 12 hours, been covered by ignorance. Therefore, such a person has a lifetime of only 50 years. Yeah?
Mhm.
And in tender age or childhood, when everyone is bewildered, one passes 10 years. Similarly, in boyhood, engaging in sporting and playing, one passes another 10 years. In this way, 20 years are wasted. Similarly, in old age, when one is invalid, unable to perform even material activities, one passes another 20 years wastefully. One whose minds and senses are uncontrolled become increasingly attached to family life because of insatiable lusty desires and very strong illusion. In such a white man's life, the remaining years are also wasted because even during those years, he cannot engage himself in devotional service. So see how our time. Hmm?
It's all gone.
Yes.
And we tried to give ourselves excuse, like
And,
I'll just later.
so we should be careful, why we so completely procrastinating. Tomorrow. No, I will do tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes, Tomorrow is the thief of time. So we should not, unnecessarily, waste our time, become serious. And as there's a popular saying, if you become serious, you take one step, Krishna will take 9 steps to you. Hmm? Krishna is ready, waiting, ever ready, waiting when you will turn your face and come to him. Now, all these other things are simply a waste of time, Hmm? Yes.
This is a fact, Prabhu. Actually, Prabhu, like the other day, uh, I paid attention to when the sun was setting. Like I was seeing the shadows like grow more and more, and I actually saw like the time moving while stealing everyone else's time while everyone's moving back and forth in their cars. I was just thinking like I'm this is like a whole sinking ship, Prabhu. Like it's sinking so slowly that no one's not even paying attention. I was afraid that's how how things are. I was a little bit afraid, but I still see myself. I'm like not serious. Even seeing the time just being taken away like that.
Yes. Time, is going. Before you know it, you become an old man already. Hmm? You understand? So try to become a little bit more careful. Take up the process a little more seriously. And that way, you see, because Krishna, even, we were reading the other day how even the gopis also have having a lot of problems. The topmost devotees. Huh? It is not that they, being topmost devotees are exempt. They also get, scolding, and they also get so many obstacles just to go to Krishna. Yes.
Yes,
Ah,
bro.
don't think that Krishna consciousness, because you become a top devotee, you don't have any problem. Material world, as long as you're in the material world, you'll always have problems. So these problems, and we keep worrying about the problems, then it doesn't solve our Krishna consciousness. Hmm?
Yes, bro.
You understand? Even we are, you know, we just have to try somehow or other, see. Social custom, spiritual injunction, bodily demand, fruitive action, shyness, patience, bodily pleasure, self-gratification, and the path of varnashram dharma, which is difficult to give up. The gopis have forsaken all this along with their families and suffered. You see this word here? Suffered. Their
Stuff.
punishment and scolding, all for the sake of serving Lord Krishna. Rendered loving service to him for the sake of his enjoyment. So this suffering, punishment, scolding, this is definitely going to be there. One way or other, the Maya will always give headache. Understand?
Yes,
So,
Prabhu.
the high example, the gopis, the highest, they are the topmost devotees. So this material world is not going to be, somewhere you're going to have all, what we say, rosy situation. They'll never be there. But we should just push on.
Prabhuji, like I remember reading in Krishna book that I forgot where it was, but like they described like I think Krishna consciousness like the tasting of a sweet, but it's very hot. Like you can't stop tasting it. It tastes very good. It's very sweet, but still it's hot and everything. And so like is it like that? Like even though like you're going through the punishments and scoldings, you're still addicted to that sweetness of the devotional service.
Yes. Simple is about hot sugar cane. Hot sugar cane is hot, it is burning your mouth, But because it's sweet, you don't want to give it up.
Is that the one? I was looking for that one.
That's what the CC, Krishna consciousness is. We should try to take it up. There are going to be obstacles, there's no doubt about it. Everyone, if I ask you to explain, everyone will give me a long list of their problems, So we should just overlook this and push on. The only enjoyment is to see that Krishna is happy. Definitely. All for Krishna. Because this is a very high platform, but at least we can try to start somewhere by practicing the instruction of our spiritual master very seriously, following the 4 principles, chanting 16 rounds, reading the books, taking Krishna Prasadam, associating with devotees. Then this is definitely will give us a lot of encouragement and strength. Yes.
Yes.
Any other questions? Dr. Derek, I'm learning how to perform Mangala Aarti, still memorizing the process. My question is about the essence of this offering. What are we really doing and what thoughts should be in the mind while doing it? So this Mangala Aarti, this very specific song, it is mainly about 8 prayers that are solely for worship of the Guru. So if you understand, there are 8 prayers and it is called the Guru Vastaka. That is Mangalacharan. Why? Because by worshipping the Guru, only then we can go to Krishna. See? And without worshipping the Guru, the spiritual master, it's very hard to make progress. In fact, the last prayer says, by the mercy of the Guru, you get Krishna, and by mercy of Krishna, you get Guru. By displeasing the Guru, then your spiritual life is finished. So that's why Prabhupada has introduced this Mangala Aarti song, particularly to start off our day, to make us understand the importance of our relationship with our Guru. You understand?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances or yours to Srila Prabhupada. My name is Derek. I'm from Peru. I've been in the Sangha for like 5 or 6 months. And today I was doing it and I was thinking like, what should I think? And my mind was going to the Maha Mantra, like engage me in your service, like that. But I was a little confused. So it's, I understand that it should be like more directed to Prabhupada.
Yeah, because this song actually, if you take it, I don't know where you can find this song. Can someone help me to post this Sisastika prayer? I mean the Mangalarti song.
KK songs, Prabhu.
KK songs, huh? I have to exit this one. Huh? Is there inside this folio, this song? Anyone knows?
You're referring to Samsara Dava, Prabhu?
Samsara Dava song. Where do I find it?
Yeah, I'll post it in the chat, Prabhu.
Post it in the chat? Okay, let's go to the chat. All right, here we got the song. We can go together with it, So these are the prayers. So first prayer, what does it mean? You can see the translation. The spiritual master is receiving benediction from the ocean of mercy, just as cloud pours water on a forest fire to extinguish it. So the spiritual master delivers the materially afflicted world by extinguishing the blazing fire of material existence. I offer my respectful obeisance unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master who is an ocean of auspicious qualities. So this is the first line of the prayer, which means that we are now stuck in this material world and we are burning in this forest fire. So you can see the first prayer. So we are stuck in this burning forest, Davanala, Lita. So when you have a fire, if you pour some bucket of water, it is not going to really be helpful. So you need a lot of water. So that cloud of rain comes in, then the whole thing gets, the fire is extinguished. So that is how the spiritual master is referred to as an ocean, a cloud of mercy of water to pour onto our burning forest of material life. So that is the meaning of this. So therefore, when you sing this song, if you can understand the meaning of the word you're singing, that will help you control. Someone is on the line there. So that will help you to become more aware, and you can realize that what you're saying. So of course it may take a little time. So while you're singing, you practice every day and you try to even study the words. That'll be very helpful for you to focus your mind. Okay? Then of course the next prayer, now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is dancing, taking up the process. You also will develop this, ecstasy, the spiritual ecstasy. You can read the meaning of this word. That's why how worshipping of the spiritual master will bring you to the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chanting the holy name, dancing in ecstasy, singing and playing musical instrument, the spiritual master is always gladdened by the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because he is relishing the mellows of pure devotion within his mind. Sometimes his hair stands on end, he feels quivering in his body and tears flow from his eyes like waves. I offer my respectful obeisance unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. So the spiritual master is in ecstasy, doing this chanting and singing and everything. So that's for that spiritual master is engaging us in this process of chanting and dancing. That will lead us also to serving our spiritual master who is in divine ecstasy. So this is the next prayer. And of course, the third prayer, the spiritual master is always engaged in temple worship of Sri Radha and Krishna. He also engages disciples in such worship. They dress the deities in beautiful cloth, ornament, clean the temple, and perform other similar worship of the Lord. I offer my respectful obeisance to the lotus feet of the spiritual master. So the spiritual master is very happy when you do puja, when you're doing Radha and Krishna worship. That pleases the spiritual master. The spiritual master is always offering Krishna 4 kinds of delicious food, analyzed as that which is licked, chewed, drunk, and sucked. When the spiritual master sees that the devotees are satisfied by eating Bhagavad Prasad, he is satisfied. So you see how the spiritual master is also happy when we take prasadam. So you see, everything is related to all the activities we do. It has to be activated to, related to the spiritual master, So the spiritual master is always eager to hear and chant about the unlimited conjugal pastimes of Radhika and Madhava and their qualities, names and form. The spiritual master aspires to relish this at every moment. I offer my respectful obeisance to the lotus feet of such spiritual master. So the spiritual master is always, in meditating and serving Radha and Krishna. So if he's doing such a thing, then how he can fall down? So this fall down spiritual master theory that the ISKCON is promoting is bogus. You understand? So all philosophy to make us understand how my spiritual master is such an elevated person serving Radha and Krishna. Then you see here the spiritual master is very dear because expert in assisting the gopis who at different time make different tasteful arrangement for the perfection of Radha and Krishna's conjugal loving affairs within the groves of Vrindavan. I offer my most humble obeisance to the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. So you see how exalted the spiritual master is. He's a very dear servant. So when we are praying and singing these songs, we should think of all these things about our spiritual master. You understand? So you ask this question, I don't know what I'm singing, I don't know. Yeah, for start you may not know, but as you read and learn these prayers, then you will come to understand the meaning of this, You understand? Then the spiritual master is honored as much as the Supreme Lord. He's not different. Sakshat Daritvena. Because he's the most confidential servitor of the Lord. This is acknowledged in all revealed scriptures and followed by all authorities. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisance unto the Lord, who is such a spiritual master, who is a bona fide representative of Sri Hari. So the position of the spiritual master is non-different from the Lord, as is the representative. So this is how we should be thinking of spiritual master. And this is the most important prayer. By the mercy of the spiritual master, one receives the benediction of Krishna. Without the grace of the spiritual master, one cannot make any advancement. See that? So we have to understand how important the spiritual master is. A very dear servant of Krishna. And spiritual life means spiritual master. Without spiritual master, then everything is finished. Therefore, I should always remember and praise the spiritual master. At least 3 times a day, I should offer my respectful obeisance unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master. 3 times a day means in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. So this is how you should learn. When you are chanting this prayer in the morning, you should learn first prayer, what it means, second prayer, what it means, third prayer, what it means. Like this. It's not difficult if you just put a little effort, Then by practice you will understand. So when you pray, with feelings, then that is another thing. Because you can also pray like a parrot, just repeat these words. But if you spend a little time understanding the prayers, then it'll become more, I would say it will increase your devotional, feelings, And also you will increase your love for your spiritual master. You not treat him like an ordinary person. So this is a science. That's why Prabhupada, in fact, the whole program of ours is after the morning program, then the deity greetings. After Mangalarti, we have deity greet. Of course, we chant the Tulsi prayers and then we, chant our japa. Of course, when we chant japa, we are also hearing Prabhupada's step going on in the background. And then it comes to deity, and then it's Guru Puja. Most of the, paramparas, they do their Guru Puja once a year, But in our case, Prabhupada has made us do every day. Why? Because he understood the importance of the spiritual master, to instill that understanding. And after the Guru Puja, then after that we, sing Hare Krishna, and then we have our class, Bhagavatam, and this way our whole morning program is set. Yes, the whole thing is worship of the spiritual master. Why did Prabhupada do such a thing? This is not done in Gaudiya. Gaudiya, they don't chant this song in the morning. They chant, Vibhavari Sesa or something. Why? Because Prabhupada, he understood. If you want to make advancement, you must take the spiritual master as your life and soul. Even giving all this strong instruction and all, you see how ISKCON again has said, Prabhupada is dead and gone. Okay? How the movement has deviated, despite all this, training, because there's no realization. When you start thinking a spiritual master as an ordinary person, then everything is finished. Everything is finished. Yeah.
Oh yes, Prabhu, thank you. I was a little confused because I heard that since I'm not capable of doing Mangalarti, I should like think that Prabhupada is doing. So I was like a little on the void, like what I'm really doing. But yes, now I understand with the I can put Prabhupada on the back with the Guru Ashtaka and also sing with him while studying the verses, right?
See, for now, what you do is that after you finish chanting the samsara prayer and all, it's good to also read the prayer in English, then you can understand. The spiritual master should be considered to be directly the Supreme Lord because he gives transcendental knowledge for enlightenment. Consequently, for one who maintains the material conception that the spiritual master is an ordinary human being, everything is frustrated. His enlightenment, his Vedic studies and knowledge are all like bathing of an elephant, which is useless. After bathing, the elephant again throws all the dirt on his body, So you should try to understand. So you chant these prayers, and after you finish, if you can have some time, you read all of them in English, so that at least until you, realize the meanings, That will help you a lot, actually. Yes?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. And one last detail: how long should be the Mangalarti? Like the song I have of Prabhupada singing is 10 minutes, so I do 10 minutes. But I don't know if that's too short or it's okay.
After you chant this prayer, you can chant, Hare Krishna, another 10 minutes or something.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be so long, so much so that you finish that, and then you can start chanting your japa,
Mm-hmm.
The morning time is very good chanting the japa, you see.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you very much.
How long you been a devotee now?
I started in September of past year, so it's like 8 or 9 months since I really started my sadhana. I knew I was reading Bhagavad Gita before some things, but I didn't have the association, and I was unable to do my sadhana very good. So I started in September. It's like 8 or 9 months.
So, but what brought you to ISKM?
I had a friend, a devotee friend, which from the capital, and he told me like all these gurus are fallen, and I was like, okay, so how are you doing this? And he told me about the path he's following. About he's following Narayan Maharaj, this guru, and so I started watching videos on YouTube and this and that, but I was not convinced, and I by my Krishna's arrangement, I got into Nimai Nitai channel, and that's how I came.
Very good. At least Krishna has saved you. Long way.
Yeah.
Peru. What time is it there now?
Here is 8:12.
In the evening or morning, huh?
No, morning. So I'm waking up at 3:30. I'm chanting 10 rounds, and by 6 I start to do breakfast and take care of my daughter, so my wife can do some exercise and start the day with good mood.
I see you have a very lovely countryside house, huh? Very beautiful.
Oh yeah, we I have a very interesting story because I didn't have any money, but somehow or another I got to know an aunt of mine, and she had this land, and I knew her, and he made me come here. And when we came, there was these huge white stones. I cannot show them because they are very down, but she told me, "You want to meditate with me on the stones?" And I was like, "Okay." uh, and after the meditation, she told me like I should do my house here, and I told her like, "No, don't joke with me, because this for me is very serious. I want a place to settle up with my family." And she told me, I'm not telling you what I want to tell you, I'm telling you what God is telling me. And it's like she had this vision, and past week she died, so now I'm alone here. And
She is
yeah.
Died.
What?
Where is she?
No, she died 2 weeks ago, and so now I'm alone here. And she told me before dying that the stones were to build a temple. And yeah, we're trying to build something here, but still trying to get the pieces together.
Anyway, you chant. I'm sure Krishna has some plans.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. But thank you. I want to thank you very much, because for your service, everything you've done and you're doing. Because Nitai told me like you are his inspiration, so he's also mine, and we are here because of you. So I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you very much for your service.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
I'll be
Krishna.
very happy to hear we have an ISKM in Peru.
Oh yeah, that would be amazing.
Those who want to retire, they can go to your place and help you build this temple, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I built my first bungalow, so I'm ready to receive 2 people more, and we're gonna be building more and more.
Very good. All right.
Haribol.
Thank you so much for inspiring all of us here with your nice story.
Yeah.
So keep chanting
You.
and you pray and you understand the meaning of the prayers, and surely Krishna and Prabhupada will give you more and more mercy.
Oh yes, thank you so
Regular
much.
touch with our devotees, huh? You keep regular touch with our devotees, Nimai Nitai and all, no? Be very nice.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Hare
Haribol.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. All glories to Prabhupada.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
What is this? Another question? Sri Harsha. How to overcome anxiety and depression? I'm chanting since 4 years, still I'm on medication. Can mantra meditation overcome this? Why I'm not able to somebody is disturbing. Can you mute? Hello. So, okay, he says he has been chanting for 4 years and he's still in anxiety and depression. So, how to help? So, the best way I would recommend is that if you can stay with the devotees for some time, that will be a very good help for you. Because on your own you seem to have difficulty. If you can find some time, you can go to our nearest temple and you can stay in the association of such devotees and work, chant with them, wake up in the morning, take Krishna Prasadam, and I'm sure your anxiety and depression will disappear in no time. Because that is the best thing to overcome anxiety and problem. It says here. This is the best medicine. One should learn how to associate with devotees of the Lord by gathering with them to chant the glories of the Lord. This process is most purifying. As devotees thus develop their loving friendship, they feel mutual happiness and satisfaction, and by thus encouraging one another, they are able to give up material sense gratification, which is the cause of all suffering. Another thing is that when you stay with devotees, you come to the mode of goodness, and then you go to pure goodness. In this way, all anxiety and problems will disappear. You understand? This is the process. And if you have been chanting for 4 years and you're still having this difficulty, then this is the only medicine for this problem. On your own, you find it difficult. Maybe you are doing something which is not in line with Krishna consciousness. So association is the best medicine for this. I recommend you strongly, if you can go, that will be very good for you. Yes? Are you there? Hello? Is a person there? Not around, eh?
He's from YouTube, Prabhuji.
Oh, it's from YouTube. So that is the best, devotee association is the most important. When a person associates with devotees, then he will get the strength. Yes.
This is a fact.
Otherwise, it's very difficult. On your own, so many things you may be doing which is not, one should taste the meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam in the association of pure devotees. One should associate devotees who are more advanced than oneself and who are endowed with a similar type of affection for the Lord. So this is very important. The words saja, jati, sajati, ya yase, singdet sadao sanga, swato vare are very important. One should not associate with professional Bhagavatam reciters. A professional Bhagavatam reciter is one who is not in disciplic succession or one who has no taste for bhakti yoga. Simply on the strength of grammatical knowledge and word jugglery, professional reciters maintain their bodies and their desires for sense gratification by reading Srimad Bhagavatam. One should also avoid those who are averse to Lord Vishnu and his devotees, those who are Mayavadis, those who offend the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, those who simply dress as Vaishnavas or so-called Goswamis, and those who make a business by selling Vedic mantras and reciting Srimad Bhagavatam to maintain their families. One should not try to understand Srimad Bhagavatam from such materialistic people. According to Vedic injunction, Yashe Deve Para Bhakti, the Srimad Bhagavatam can be recited only by one who has unflinching faith in the lotus feet of Krishna and his devotees, the spiritual master. One should try to understand Srimad Bhagavatam from the spiritual master. The Vedic injunction says, Bhakti Bhagavatam Griham na buddhaya na cha tikaya. One has to understand Srimad Bhagavatam through the process of devotional service and by hearing the recitation of pure devotee. These are the injunctions of Vedic literature, Shruti and Smriti. Those who are not in the disciplic succession and who are not pure devotees cannot understand the real mysteries, objective of Srimad Bhagavatam and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So in this way you go, you associate and learn, and by associating you get to hear, and by hearing Bhagavatam, all this anxiety and depression will leave, you know. So powerful, you know. It is, you know, very, very authorized, you know. Hmm? Yes.
Yes,
Hmm?
Prabhu.
This is not something that is, you know, whimsical, you know. You have to do it according to the direction of the of the spiritual master.
Mm.
That is-
Yes, Prabhu. Like I felt happy when I was in the association of the devotees. You know, I was more depressed before Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, this is the method, you know. You go to the devotees and you associate humbly. That way you get so much strength, you know.
Yeah.
You can see here in this verse. Whenever pure topics of transcendental world are discussed, the members of the audience forget all kinds of material anchoring, at least for the time being. Not only that, but they are no longer envious of one another, nor do they suffer from anxiety or fear. So that even if you momentarily you discuss, you are free from all these bad qualities, suffer from anxiety or fear, depression, and depression comes when he has no Krishna consciousness, the mode of ignorance. So when you come to the mode of goodness and transcendental goodness, then all these things disappear, must disappear. And if you are chanting and it's not, that means something is not right in your practice. So you have to straighten yourself up. And the best way is to go to advanced devotees and learn and surrender. If you don't want to surrender, then of course there's going to be a problem. Spiritual life means to surrender. If you don't want to do and you want to surrender and you don't want to surrender and you want to do all by yourself, it's going to be a problem. So I explained here. The mind is like an impetuous horse that even persons who have regulated their senses and breath cannot control. Those in this world who try to tame their uncontrolled mind but who abandon the feet of their spiritual master encounter hundreds of obstacles in their cultivation of various distractful practices. O unborn Lord, they are like merchants on a boat in an ocean who have failed to employ a helmsman. And of course, if you don't do this, you get all these problems. So the solution is this: you must have a guru and you must surrender to that guru. Otherwise, it's very difficult, you know. Very, very difficult. It's not possible to make advancement. Impossible. Yes. Hello. That person is a YouTuber.
It makes it very clear, Prabhu. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I think Arrow has a question in the chat, Prabhu.
Who?
Arrow Prabhu.
Hero.
Yes.
Be the guru first before getting into any kind of real spiritual practice. Srila Rupa Goswami has delineated 4 preliminary requisites for advancement for the sincere disciple. Guru Prasada Sraya Tasmat, Krishna Diksha Adi Shikshanam, Visrambena Guru Seva, Sadhu Vatmanu Anuvartanam. First, accepting the shelter of the spirit bona fide, accepting the lotus feet of a bona fide spiritual master. That's the first thing. Second, being initiated by the spiritual master and learning how to discharge devotional service from him. Number 3, obeying the orders of the spiritual master with faith and devotion. And 4, following in the footsteps of great acharyas, teachers, under the direction of the spiritual master. So you see, these are the prerequisites. In fact, before you go to the spiritual master, you must learn how to associate and hear from the spiritual master. That hearing is very important, you know. So when you start associating with the spiritual master and hearing, then you will develop the faith. See, Adao Shraddha, you have to develop your faith. In the beginning, there must be faith. Yeah? And how to develop that faith? One must hear. That's why we recommend reading Prabhupada books, associating devotees, hearing them. Then one become interested in associating with the pure devotee. Then you become, eligible and interested. Therefore, one is initiated by the spiritual master and execute the regulative principle under his order. So these are the preliminary guidelines that you must do these things if you want to make advancement. Even Krishna also said in the Bhagavad Gita, the very famous verse, everybody must, Krishna is advising, you must get knowledge. And say in the verse just previous to this, he says, you must get knowledge. For chastise the enemy, sacrifice perform in knowledge better than mere sacrifice of material possession. After all, O son of Pita, all sacrifice of work culminate in transcendental knowledge. So Krishna is stressing about how to get this knowledge. And you can only get this knowledge if you go to a guru. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. See? You have to learn this thing, this mystical science. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. And what is the truth? That Krishna is all in all. Understand? You understand? So this is the process. You cannot try to forego this process. That is not possible. Give me another one. Yes, you have to have a guru. Yes, where are you from, Mr. What? Hero. Where are you from? Are you here? Hero.
Arrow Prabhu?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I was looking at the chat right now.
Where are you from?
Finland.
England, no?
Finland.
Finland. Okay, Finland. So you understand this point?
Well, kind of, but like, how do you know which, like, where do you get the real spiritual master? I know it's like Srila Prabhupada, but this was ISKM, not ISKCON. I'm not like sure what like is ISKCON bad?
So we are, in fact, Prabhupada has given us direction how to connect you to Prabhupada. So if you read Prabhupada books, then if you are getting the faith and the strength from him, then the next thing is to get connected to Prabhupada. So in the ISKM, we have a system whereby we connect you to Prabhupada and you become Prabhupada disciple, and then you leave, take direction from all the other devotees, and that way you practice your spiritual life. So in order for you to accept Prabhupada, you first have to develop the faith in him. So therefore you have to learn how to read his books, talk to the devotees, associate like this. I think there's another devotee there in Finland, right? I think his name is Sammy or something. Close to this person.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Yes, Prabhu. I'm also from Finland.
So you guide him, that'll be very nice.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, we met just yesterday. So
Oh.
this is new connection.
That's good. So you help him, huh? These are basic things that you can guide him with, huh?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
So let him develop all the faith by clearing all his doubts first. Unless his doubts is cleared, it's difficult for him to make progress,
Yeah, true. Yes, Prabhu.
You teach him, that'll be very nice. Huh? So Mr. Hero, you learn from him, huh? Yes?
Yeah. We talked yesterday and helped a lot to talk with him. Yeah, he helps me. Yes.
Very good. Can we not find Krishna without a guru just by reading Gita? I'm not saying we do not need a guru. So if you read Gita, means you must be associating with a guru. Because just to read the Gita, you need the purports, to understand. So when you read Gita, you must read Gita through the help of a guru. Yes? So you have to understand Krishna through the help of a guru. So Bhagavad Gita, as Prabhupada said, there's so many editions, outside, some 600 editions, but not one of them become a devotee. Because the Gita was not presented by a devotee. So when you read Bhagavad Gita with the help of a pure devotee, then yes, then you can understand Gita properly. But just by reading Gita, there's so many people are reading Gita, they're not even becoming devotees of Krishna. Why? Because they're not hearing with the help of a pure devotee. That's very important. Without the help of a pure devotee, it's impossible to go to Krishna. It's not possible. That's why Krishna says, anybody who says my devotee is not my devotee. Anyone who says a devotee of my devotee, then he is my devotee. In fact, in Krishna's own words, you cannot go to Krishna directly. That's not possible. Anyway, even if you read Bhagavad Gita, just the verses alone, you may be confused also. You will not understand. You need the help of a pure devotee, especially Prabhupada's purport, and to make things more clear. Yes? Hello? That's why the whole thing about chanting Mangalarti and all that is to surrender to a pure devotee. By the mercy of the pure devotee, he reveals Krishna to us.
Right, Prabhu. I get it. Thank you.
You understand? Without taking the shelter of pure devotee, nobody can become a devotee. That's said in by Prahlad Maharaj, he said that, Unless taking the dust of a pure devotee, nobody can become a devotee. Yeah, see, unless one takes the dust of the lotus feet of pure Vaishnava on one's head, one cannot understand what the Supreme Personality of Godhead is. And unless one knows the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one's life remains imperfect. Not possible. This verse is spoken by Prahlad Maharaj. Unless they smear upon their bodies the dust of the lotus feet of Vaishnava, completely free from material contamination, person very much inclined towards materialistic life cannot be attached to the lotus feet of the Lord, who is glorified for his uncommon activities. Only by becoming Krishna conscious and taking shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, in this way can one be freed from material contamination. So you see how without the help of a pure devotee, it's difficult to become a devotee. It's not possible, you know. Yes. I don't think in the history whole that someone became a pure devotee without the help of another pure devotee. Huh? Lord Jagannath is actually Krishna himself, you know, he's the Lord of the universe. He came in this form, especially in Kali Yuga. Worship of Jagannath is very much recommended because it's very simple to worship, you know. So worship of Jagannath and Krishna are non-different. In fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he stayed in Jagannath Puri and he will be every day, you know, going to take darshan of Lord Jagannath, worshipping Jagannath. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he shows us the example. Yes, very much recommended. Of course, the best thing for now is that for you, the best thing is to worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, it was non-different from Krishna also. Very quickly, you will make a lot of spiritual advancement. You know, easy and best. And no offense, you know. Worshipping him is no offense. Yes. Yeah, we worship Jagannath. So anybody else have got anything else to ask? Yes.
I have one more question, Prabhu.
What question?
It's regarding this topic about a friend devotee from here told me since Prabhupada appointed Narayan Maharaj to do his funerary rites, he was the real successor. Like they follow this principle. And have you heard about this?
This is complete bogus statement. Prabhupada asked him to do the funeral rites because there's nobody in our ISKCON at that time know how to do such things. There was nobody who know what to do because we don't know all these things, you know. These are all the rituals. So Prabhupada had asked him to do that ceremony for him. But Prabhupada never endorsed him as to become the next Acharya just because he did that ceremony. Like that, you have to wait for somebody who is,
He told me like...
No, my question is that if that's the case, if someone is going to pass away and you do this ceremony, then you also become a pure devotee? Huh? It's not the criteria, you know. Prabhupada, if you
Yes,
want
I don't think so.
somebody, if
Yeah, he
Prabhupada want to, yes, if Prabhupada want to endorse somebody, he will make a big announcement, he will write, and so many things he will do. You know, you understand? Prabhupada, because our ISKCON devotees at that time,
Yes, why leave it on the
huh? What?
yeah. Yes, that I was wondering that why leave it on the dark, like he told me no, this is the etiquette, like the custom is that if you appoint somebody to do the rites, the funerary rites, he is the successor. But then I saw a video on YouTube, like he was like blaspheming, saying that Prabhupada book is actually uh, pushing devotees away, and then I
Prabhupada
was
gave you
like,
the ABC. You said Prabhupada
like,
gives,
oh no, this can be.
you said Prabhupada is giving you the ABC. I'm giving the, more advanced thing. And Prabhupada said in his book, everything you need to do, need to learn is in my books. Huh? Just because he wanted to capitalize on this movement, which is so big, he wanted to become the, take over the cake, You understand? Well, easy, take over the
Yes,
cake and
Prabhu.
leader and do, all kind of things. Prabhupada was not that foolish. Then why he appointed 11 people to act on his behalf for the purpose of initiation and he still remained the Acharya? Because Prabhupada know if the moment you detach him from the position of Acharya, then everything will fall apart, become chaotic. You saw that happen in Gaudiya Math also. In Gaudiya Math, the one who did the ceremony was for Bhakti Siddhanta was Sridhar Maharaj. And Sridhar Maharaj was not the next Acharya just because he did the ceremony. You understand? So this thing is not a valid kind of statement because they
Yes.
just some or other want to bring Narayan Maharaj out there, as the next person in the whole movement. It is not. We don't accept that because this Prabhupada have never endorsed him.
Yeah.
Prabhupada never endorsed him. That's why he's so.
Yes. Also
You see,
for
on
me,
the other hand, why is he reinitiating Prabhupada disciple? This is against Vaishnava etiquette. Huh? Prabhupada disciples already got initiated by Prabhupada, and you are reinitiating them. Why? Hmm? This is against Vaishnava principles. Hmm? You understand? Anyway, I don't think we can
yes,
accept.
yes, Prabhu. Also, yes, Prabhu. Also, after being here for some months, for me, it's very clear that if they have if they would have followed the Ritbik, they would have been it was secure that they were going to be humble. Like it's a perfect system to be humble and not to try to be the guru, right? Like
Yes, you're right. Because a Vaishnava is always, glorifying another Vaishnava. A Vaishnava will never want to supersede another Vaishnava. That's not etiquette. So he's trying to put the picture that he know better than Prabhupada. That's a nonsense. He's not even a Prabhupada disciple. Of course, Prabhupada took sannyas from his, but he's not on the level of Prabhupada. He's actually a disciple of Prabhupada's God brothers. You understand? So this is not very good ethics behavior.
oh wow, I didn't know that.
He's not a Prabhupada, God brother. He's actually a disciple of Prabhupada's sannyas guru. You understand?
Oh wow.
People are trying to, paint the picture
Yes,
that
Prabhu.
the next Acharya and through. Listen, this is not valid. It's not valid at all. Prabhupada invited him the last day there. He told him that, you do the ceremony. I like you to put me on samadhi by your hands, Prabhupada said. So that doesn't mean that because he's invited to do the ceremony, he's the next in line. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Yes, Prabhu.
So don't try to fall for this kind of cheap arguments, Yeah. Why Prabhupada issued the July 9 letter?
Yes, Prabhu.
Why? See, if Prabhupada wanted to do something, he will write it down, not that he will just speak, blindly, And we all have to kind of decipher this by some kind of a, I don't know, some strange, vibration and quotes. No, Prabhupada made it clear. Anything he wanted, he write it down. That's it. And the July 9 letter is very clear for the whole society what to do. Yes. And of course, they will bring some argument in 1960.
Yes, Prabhupada.
Prabhupada said, you all become gurus. And yeah, Prabhupada said many things. Prabhupada said, if I may have said so many things, but what I tell you now, you do that. You don't come and say that, oh, before you said like this and like that. Prabhupada said, no. So what I tell you now, you do that. So what did he say? In July 9, he said, you become, this 11 are becoming the Ritvik representative, and all the disciples they initiate, they are my disciples, they are Prabhupada disciples. Very clear, the letter is so clear. Oh, this letter is only because Prabhupada is sick and all. Come on, the question was raised, how to do initiation, particularly when you are no longer here with us. And Prabhupada said, Ritvik, yes. And here again, they are interpreting the letter. Why? Because they're so much, what we say, lustful for getting the position of guru. Last days, Prabhupada was asking Tamal, why I've already deputed, all of you to act, why you're not doing, because one gentleman was asking Prabhupada for initiation. Prabhupada said, I have already deputed. Did you understand that? Tamal said, yes, because he was not doing it because he wanted to wait until Prabhupada leaves so that he can make them all his own disciples. That was his nonsense. I know, I was there. He wanted to make all of them his disciples. He's a rascal. I worked with him, I know. In fact, he was forcing me to take it. He's a rascal, Because they know by getting people to be disciples, then they can control. The whole idea is just to control. Even now, you go to ISKCON and you join them, and then you say something, oh, they say Guru Aparad, Guru Aparad. Why? They want to control you. Oh, you cannot find fault with the Guru. Although he's doing all nonsense. Why? Because this is a whole setup, just control. There's a demonic one. There's a verse in the Bhagavad Gita says, oh, he's my enemy, I've controlled him, he's my other enemy, I will kill him. This is the whole thing as explained as a demonic quality, controlling. Our whole idea is to bring everybody to Krishna, and to the spiritual master. Yeah? Why the society is failing? Because they have all these demonic qualities. You understand? Yeah? Our idea here is to bring you to
Yes,
Prabhupada.
Prabhu. Yes.
You take it or what? You go to Prabhupada. How we can help you, that is our point. How to make your faith stronger to Prabhupada. But that's not there in them. They want to take they want to have the cake and they want to eat it as well, these guys. That's why the movement is falling. And because they are having the cake, now the woman also squealing. No, we also want to take the cake as well. Huh? Everything is in a mess. Because you disobey the order of the spiritual master, then you become useless. Yes, you can see. Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
So Narayan Maharaj, you want to take the cake, the
Thank
woman
you.
take the cake, this guru one. Everybody is eyeing for the cake of Prabhupada's whole, his whole struggle. But they fail to understand that Prabhupada's mission is coming from Krishna directly, and Krishna is protecting. Dharma samstapanartaya. Krishna is taking care of that. You understand? Because Krishna will send his topmost devotee.
Yes, Prabhu. Also, this greed for position.
Huh? You think Krishna is so foolish to send his
This greed for
devotees down?
position.
Yes, greed, because they're contaminated. Their heart is not pure. So when your heart is not pure, then lust, envy, hatred, all these things are there. So you're only thinking, how to capitalize on it. Yeah. I give you an example. I was traveling with Tamal, and we are going to go to where's this place? This is in where? I think it is in Rishikesh. Yeah, we're going there. So we were going in the car. Then Tamal told me, he said, "Look, I want to sit in this particular side of the car." I said, Maharaj, why are you so particular which side you want to sit? After all, in your car, no? No, you don't understand, Sundar Gopal, because the car is going to travel this way and the sun is going to shine on that side. So if I sit on this side, I will get the sun. So I want to sit on this side. See how calculated this guy is. Just to give you an idea of this person's brain. He's so much into his comfort. Huh? I give you an example. I was traveling with him. So you see how much he is manipulative. This is not a idea of a pure devotee. Yeah. Of course,
Yes.
many examples. I stayed with the guy, so I know. But I'm just giving you one example. So these are not.
Yes.
Yes. It's not that we are starting ISKM because I want to become the independent acharya and I want to get all the name credit. I'm not too bothered whether you bow down to me or not bow down to me. I'm not care less. But if you can be a servant of Prabhupada, I'm more than happy. That's the main idea. Because you're coming because of Prabhupada and you love Prabhupada. So my duty is to help enhance that. Yeah, everybody wants Prabhupada. So if I can give you some help, then I'm more than happy. You understand?
Yes. For me, it's getting perfectly clear that this Ritvic system is the perfect method to avoid.
Yes, and the more you will get to know it is perfect because the energy of Prabhupada will flow to you. That's another mysterious thing, as Krishna explains here in the Bhagavad Gita. So in this verse, you can see Saeva Madhyayate Yoga Prokta Puratanaha Bhaktosi Me Shaka Cheti Rahasyam Ye Tat Uttamam. This very ancient science of relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you because you are my devotee and my friend. Conditions. And can therefore understand this transcendental mystery of the science. So to understand this mystery of the science, you must become a devotee and friend of Krishna. And when you are properly connected by a pure devotee as in Prabhupada, then therefore this knowledge will be revealed to you. Mysterious, this mysterious science, is a secret. Actually, Rahasya means secret, So this is how you can see why this system is very, very bona fide. And you will get the strength to overcome Maya. Otherwise, it's very, very difficult. But the gurus themselves are falling down. That means what? You can see how they are not getting the strength. Automatically, you can put 2 and 2 together. Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. For me, it's getting pretty clear that he saw this situation and this Ritvic system is the perfect method to avoid the greed for position.
Yes. That's the problem, because we don't read proper books and all that properly, then we get all mixed up, with all their crazy called speculations, A non-devotee said, I'm a half-cooked devotee who does not know Jagannath, and he says he's not, and he could himself devotee of Jagannath. What proof to this kind of devotee? I didn't understand. Can you read? Can you tell me what you are saying here? Hello, Dr. Derek. What are your David? Huh? Who is this David? I'm non-devotee said.
Oh, I let me just read. A non-devotee said, "I am a half-cooked devotee." He's cooking with David Prabhu. He found a job in the kitchen, and he's cooking with Indian like Indian karmis. So this non-devotee he's talking about could be that Indian. So he told him he's like a half-cooked devotee who does not know Jagannath, and he said he is not Krishna, and he could himself devotee.
Can he unmute and speak about this, and in that way we'll hear him straight?
Yeah.
Is he there? Can you? I think it's from Ethiopia, no?
Yeah, he's from Ethiopia, but I'm not too sure of his connection. I think his connection dropped before his question came up.
If he can unmute and speak to us, then it'll be more clear what's asking, huh?
Yeah.
So is that literally taken smear the dust upon your body? That's why we touch the lotus feet of the pure devotee every day, We touch the lotus feet of Prabhupada, we touch the lotus feet of Krishna. Why? Because the dust of them is so pure, very, very beneficial for us. The three things are very important in our devotee: the dust, the water that washed their feet, and also the food that they leave behind, the remnants of their food. These three things are so important in our devotee. Without being a full-time devotee, we can't achieve Madhyama, Uttama, Adhikari. It doesn't matter. This position, Madhyama, Uttama and all that is possible, but first you have to start in the beginning. That's the main thing, not worry about all that first. First learn how to get connected to Prabhupada. That's the first thing, to whether to become a pure devotee or not, that's secondary. The main thing is now to get ourselves connected to a pure devotee. Then yes, you also become a pure devotee without fail. But the first connection to a pure devotee is very, very important. That's why it says in the beginning, hearing and then connection. If you're not going to connect yourself, then how are you going to talk about Madhyama and Uttama? It just doesn't make any sense. In fact, it is said here, if you don't connect yourself to a pure devotee, then there's a good chance that you will fall down. What to speak about, Even though born in a Brahmana family, one cannot engage in Vedic ritual without being initiated and having a sacred thread. Although born in a Brahmana family, one becomes Brahmana only after initiation in the sacred thread ceremony. Unless one is initiated as a Brahmana, he cannot worship the holy name properly. Unless one is initiated by a bona fide spiritual master, all his devotional activities are useless. See that? A person who is not properly initiated can descend again into animal species. So this is not a relevant point, talking about Madhyama and Uttama if you're not even first connected. Unless you got connected, then what's the point? Yeah. First thing comes first. It's the duty of every human being to surrender to a bona fide spiritual master, giving him everything, body, mind, and intelligence. One must take Vaishnava initiation from him. That's very important. The first thing, get connected. Otherwise, senseless, Why don't we have an open discussion live on YouTube with GBC members regarding these topics? Yes, I'm deputing you to do it since I already explained the matter. You Mr. Krishna Charan, you can start connecting and talking to them. And you'll be good if you can do. I will be more than happy to hear from you. And they will not come forward anyway. That's a fact. They will not discuss these things. Oh, they will not. You can see there's so many YouTube channels. Our devotees are writing so many Ritvik things, but we never hear them rebut. They never. Why? Talking all nonsense just to cover their act. Oh, Prabhupada never appointed anybody. Prabhupada said this is not Parampara. All kind of crazy argument. There's no base. Prabhupada had already said very clearly, Ritvik, yes. And who are you, some small little guy coming to say that Prabhupada don't know, I know better. This is nonsense. Huh? Yes. And then try to cover it up by saying all kind of crazy stuff, hoodwinking all the other innocent devotees. How these kinds of people will come and have a debate? They will never come forward. That's why I say, if you can talk to them, I'd be more than happy. They never come forward. Because they know, deep down in their heart, they are not pure devotees. They openly also say, we are not pure devotees. We can only bring to you to Prabhupada. Then why are you behaving like a pure devotee? Having everyone chant your prana mantra, Namo Ram Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya. That means you are the lotus feet of Vishnu and you are well embraced by Krishna. If you are led at the lotus feet of Krishna and embraced by, Vishnu and embraced by Krishna, then why are you saying that you can only bring everyone to Prabhupada? This is cheating. Yes. Yes or not? So try to understand. These people, they are not interested because they have the cake. They got the huge temple, they got all the devotees, they got everything. So why they want to come and talk about all these things? They don't want to. They just tell everybody that this Ritvik is not Parampara, these Ritviks are bogus, this is not part of Shastra. This is all kind of crazy nonsense. So that the people who are downline, they're just like, what's his name? Bhakta Derek was saying, this Narayan Maharaj, he did the ceremony for Prabhupada. He put the Prabhupada, in Samadhi. Therefore, he is the next in line. All kind of crazy nonsense. The same way, they are also bluffing everybody. So we are proving with so many Shastric evidences, so many points we are showing. They cannot say nothing. They simply, as the popular saying goes, give a dog a bad name and shoot him. That's all. Ritviks are bad, the Ritvik have no guru. So many nonsense. How is it that we have no guru? How is it that we have no parampara? And firstly, how is it that we're getting all the knowledge? Come on. Okay, you say we are all bogus. Why you excommunicate me? Because I'm saying Prabhupada is the guru. Why you excommunicated me? Why? Why? If you think you're very bona fide, yeah, you should open your doors for everybody. I mean, yeah, you open door to all kind of rascals, but for us, they are the worst people. Because we say Prabhupada is the guru, we are the worst people in the history. Why? Understand? The cheating is going on, and it will go on. And just like Gaudiya Math collapsed, this is also collapsing. So we don't have to worry about them, wasting our time talking to them. The best thing is that we go on with our work. Prabhupada never waste time to go and talk to all his Gaudiya Math Guru, God brothers. He carried on his preaching. That's all we have to do. You can see we are getting people from all parts of the world. I mean, here you see this Bhakta Derek is from where? Peru, and you have a Ethiopian from Africa, and you have somebody from Finland. Why? Because we are giving the knowledge. Yes. You understand? So we go on with our work, wasting our time talking to this. You give some instruction to fools, they're only going to get angry. Upadesanti murkanam nasante prakopaya. So we want to waste our time. I mean, we did try that in the early days, in the 1990s. We tried to talk to them and all that, but it fell on deaf ears. They're not interested. In fact, one of them remarked that in China we feed the pigs. When they go fat, we will slaughter them. This is what we should do to the Ritwiks. Can you imagine the statement they make? And incidentally, the person who said that, he had homosexual activity with the Chinese boys and he fell down. Yes. So anyway, it's pointless. Let us go on with our work and let us preach, put Prabhupada in the center and show them this is the real Krishna consciousness. Yes? Hello? This is said to me somehow. I was deep study. I came Sundar Gopal Nimai Prabhu opened my eyes with evidence. Who is this Bang? Who is Bangalore? Hello. What's your name? Mr. Bangalore, what's your name? Hello.
Krishna, would you like to elaborate your question, please?
Who is this Bangalore man? You can call him and maybe you can associate with him. Subramaniam, you are there, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
So, Mr. Bangalore, you can put your name and number, then you can contact with him. That'd be nice.
Yes, Prabhu.
So here's the next question. In 1088:10, why does Lord say he will fail in our attempts to make money? If our parents are sick and need money for their treatment, then what to do? So in this case, if someone wants to become a devotee, Krishna says that the first thing he does is to help by removing his attachment for wealth. Because by having this attachment for wealth, that will not make him surrender to the devotees. So if you are actually a devotee, it's not necessarily that Krishna, but once you become a devotee, after that Krishna gives everything again. So you must read the whole thing properly, not that Krishna takes the wealth and perpetually keep you as a beggar. It's not a fact. You can see here in these verses. So you see here in this verse, because I am difficult to worship, people generally avoid me and instead worship other deities and quickly satisfied. When people receive kingly opulence from the deity, they become arrogant, intoxicated with pride, and neglectful of their duties. They dare to offend even the demigods who have bestowed benediction upon them. So you see here in that verse, so you see, a person who has thus become sober, fully realized the absolute truth is the highest truth and the most subtle and perfect manifestation of spirit, the transcendental existence without end. In this way, realizing the supreme truth is the foundation of his own existence, he is free from the cycle of material life. So when a person becomes a devotee, then Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita again, for my devotee, so for my devotee, I carry what he lacks and preserve what he has. So see, a person who is always in that level, but those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they like and preserve what they have. So how is it that Krishna will take all your money and then keep you perpetually poor? That's not Krishna. Krishna said, for my devotee, I'll give everything. Why? Why is he saying like that here? So it is not that he takes away your money and you have nothing, but Krishna is also for my devotee. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita again that you declared boldly, Arjuna, my devotee will never perish. Right? He quickly become righteous and attain lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declared boldly that my devotee never perish. So how can Krishna be so unkind as to put you in a position whereby you can't even take care of your sick mother and all that? No, this is not a very relevant statement. You understand? Krishna is going to provide. In fact, what to speak about just giving you money or what? Krishna is prepared to deliver even 21 generations of your fathers and forefathers and all that, and your sons and sons and sons and that. Who will do that? Krishna is not very unkind, He's the most kindest person. And if you actually do something for him, he is rewarding, very rewarding. Yeah. Right. Characteristically, the Supreme Personality of Godhead does not take seriously any offense committed by a pure devotee. The Lord accepts whatever small service a devotee renders as being such a great service that he is prepared to give even himself, what to speak of other benedictions. So don't think just that run one line that I will take away. The first thing, of course, Krishna had to take away all that so that you will surrender. But if you are surrendered, then Krishna gives everything. What to speak about? The example like Durva Maharaj. Durva Maharaj surrendered and he got a kingdom higher than Lord Brahma. Prahlad Maharaj, kingly opulence. Bali Maharaj. There's so many examples of his devotees. Yudhishthira Maharaj, emperor of the world. So why Krishna should have taken Yudhishthira's Maharaj money all away and could have taken away Bali Maharaj, everything? Bali Maharaj, although he took away, he gave him a planet in Sutala which is even more opulent than Indra. So try to understand this properly, and not try to think that Krishna will take away and leave you penniless. That's not Krishna, Yes. In fact, Krishna says, my devotee, he gets everything, but the devotees are not interested. This is here. Everything that can be achieved by fruitive activities, penance, knowledge, detachment, mystic yoga, charity, religious duty, and all other means of perfecting life is easily achieved by my devotee through loving service unto me. If somehow or other my devotee desires promotion to heaven, liberation, or resident in my abode, he easily achieves such benedictions. Huh? See? How? How you can say? Doesn't make any sense. Karmis are always anxious to accumulate wealth for their sense gratification, but for that purpose, they must work very hard. Yet even though they work very hard, the results are not satisfying. Indeed, sometimes their work results only in frustration. But devotees who have dedicated lives to the service of the Lord can achieve substantial results without working very hard. This result exceeds the devotee's expectation. So how you can say Krishna will not help? How? This statement of yours is not correct. Who is that saying this thing? Hello?
One YouTube from YouTube, Prabhu.
From YouTube. So the statement is not valid.
Yeah, Prabhu.
So the Bangalore party has left the number. Maybe you can contact him. Oh, you have left the number. Okay. When I asked to ISKCON out of the 10 gurus have fallen, their reply was he is what? Strong in devotion, he is serving Prabhupada, this, that. But I couldn't respond. What is your view, Prabhu? I don't understand your question. Can you unmute and speak, please? What is the question exactly? Hmm?
Although they are fallen, although the Gurus are fallen, they are still strong in their devotion. An example is Jayapataka Maharaj, who is serving Prabhupada.
See, our statement is this. Our statement is this here. The moment you disobey Prabhupada, then you're useless. In this statement here, the order of the spiritual master, the active principle in spiritual life. Anyone who disobeys the order of the spiritual master immediately becomes useless. Huh? So they're giving the example of Jayapataka. Do you know Jayapataka? I stayed with the guy. Yeah? He can't even wake up for Mangalarati. He can't even chant his rounds. Even before he got all this stroke, he was not even chanting his rounds. He was penalized. So is that not a penalized, a fallen position? If you cannot wake up and you cannot chant your round, there's something wrong with you. And Prabhupada said, if you are in that position, you are an animal. Huh? So what kind of example is that? What is he following? When he asks you not to become a guru and you're becoming guru, that is following? Tell me. He was suspended as a guru. Why? Because he was not chanting his rounds. And he was saying to one of my god brother asked him, Maharaj, people are asking why you are not chanting. Then he said, ask the person, what did you tell him? So I don't know what to say. He said, you must tell him that one who is in the transcendental level, then he no need to chant. Look at his statement. But here, when we see here the statement in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the quality of a person who is, transcendentally situated, it is explained here. So you can see here, this statement here. When the seed of ecstatic emotion for Krishna fructified, the following 9 symptoms appear in one's behavior. Forgiveness, concern that time should not be wasted, detachment from absence of false prestige, hope, eagerness, this word, eagerness, a taste for chanting the holy name of the Lord. You see this point here? So the moment you are in the in the power platform, a taste for chanting the holy name. And here he's saying, once you're in the highest platform, you don't chant. What kind of nonsense is that? Huh? Hello? You understanding? And this is not some third-hand experience, my own experience. I saw the guy. He came to my temple and he was not waking up in the morning. And we saw the guy, he was not chanting. Listen, this is not third hand, fourth hand. It's straight for me. Unless you say I'm lying or whatever. You can also go and see the GSPC resolution where he was suspended as being a guru. That's also there, black and white. So this thing is not, nonsense. They are just saying some nonsense just to cover up. Even now, he's not even chanting. Because he doesn't like to chant, Krishna has made him, he cannot chant. Huh? Look at his position. Yes. All right, I think we have overshot our time. I'm really sorry to drag you on. I have to stop here. I thank you all for your kind time with me. I hope we have explained at length all these positions. So thank you very much. All glories to all of you. All glories to Prabhupada.
Thank you.
Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much for association. It was a very nice class.
It was a very, very strong class, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu, for the instructions and the guidance and the association.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you so
Very
much, Prabhu.
much,
Krishna.
everyone.
Hare Bol,
Thank
Hare
you so much.
Krishna.
Amazing.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Bol, Hare Krishna.
Haribo.
Wow, Prabhu, very cool.
पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च
Wow.
कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानं
Hare
पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Sadhu Sangha. All glories to
च
Jai.
Hare
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Jai Jai.